what's called bonding. Basically what that means is that the state will borrow money so that they can build affordable housing. And we want to build permanent supportive housing, and then we want to rehabilitate existing units of housing so that they can be quality and safe for a number of years to come. And then the other thing we want to do with that money that the state borrows is we want to rehabilitate public housing units. So we think that with the money that we're requesting, we're asking for $100 million, which is more than we've ever asked for.
That's state or federal?
State money. We will be able to, because the state is going to ask for this money, we will be able to get some federal money along with it. So that's kind of part of the deal is the state says, we'll put up a certain amount of money as long as the federal government does too. So the governor has already put forward a proposal for bonding, and he included $50 million for affordable housing, which is more than any governor has ever recommended in the history of the state. So we're pretty excited about that. It's a big step forward. We fully acknowledge, and he also fully acknowledges that it's not going to meet immediate needs, but it's a pretty significant step forward. And so we're very thankful for that, and we think it's a good start heading into the legislative session because we're not going to be satisfied until we get $100 million. So that's what we're going to keep asking for. So we think with this money, with $100 million, we can either build or rehabilitate over 5,000 units of affordable housing throughout the state of Minnesota. So that money, if it's awarded, will go to what's called the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency. So they kind of operate like a bank. They're run by the state of Minnesota. And then organizations will apply for that money, and it will be awarded based on the needs of the community that it serves. So wherever the greatest needs are, wherever there's the need for affordable housing is where that money will go. So, any questions about that? So that's
when is that supposed to take place?
So
15, 16?
So this money would be, the applications would go out over the summer, and the money would be awarded in the fall. Yeah.
I heard you kept saying the word borrow. How do they get paid back?
So bonding is, what happens is the state will sell a bond, and then the money, the state will get cash in return for that bond, and they'll pay it back over the course of 20 years with interest. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That means our tax bill.
Your taxes won't.
Which we discussed health and changing our diets and things of that nature. That's a special fund that Mark acquired. So that second meeting of the month is not about 50+ business. That's strictly about health. So that's on the 25th. So we have 2 meetings a month now. So I just want to clarify everybody on that. Is there any questions? Yes, it's all going to be here. We won't have fried chicken. We usually have baked chicken, or we're going to have fruits and vegetables and water. We're trying to cut back on pops, and if we're gonna walk that walk, we gotta, set an example. So
they're not going to spend all that money to get some flowers that they use once every 5 years. You know what I mean?
That's the point.
They're not going to do that. Y'all just stay in the house, let the snow melt.
Started putting fans down already.
How are you doing today?
Fine. And you?
In there?
All the power.
got to come to agreement between the State House and the State Senate. Last year, the State House passed a bill to raise the minimum wage to $9.50, and once we hit $9.50, to do an adjustment every single year for inflation. Cost of everything goes up, the minimum wage should go up with cost of living. Right now, and last year, the State Senate, also a Democratic majority, passed a bill to raise the state minimum wage to $7.75, and no index after that to inflation. That's not much of an increase. Federal law right now is $7.25, so they're talking about a 50-cent increase, which isn't doing much. So what we've been doing for the last year with this minimum wage coalition is spending 9 months organizing, talking to people all over the state about the need to raise the wage to $9.50 and index that to inflation. And so I want to thank all of you. I was there at that meeting 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago? I was there, and it did make a difference. It makes a difference at the Capitol. It makes a difference in these coalition hearings to have people show up and show their support and lend their voice to this thing. It really does matter. So that's what we're working on still. Right now, the Senate has finally agreed that they'll raise the wage to $9.50, but they don't want to index it to inflation. So once we hit $9.50, they want to leave it alone, and then every year as costs go up, the value of that wage is going to go down every year unless we take action. And what the history shows is that we don't have the political guts to raise the minimum wage every year. It happens every 5 years, every 10 years. Last time we raised it in Minnesota was 2005, so that's 9 years ago already. So if you wait 9 years, that minimum wage gets just eaten away year after year. So we want to index it to inflation. That's the big issue we're fighting for right now, because if we're successful right now in getting that up to $9.50, that's going to make a big difference, and we want to hold on to that, not give it away and have it chipped away. So that's kind of what the tussle is right now at the state capitol on this issue. So if you're going to be there tomorrow, and you're going to meet with a state senator especially, tell them what you think about that issue. They need to hear it from people who where this makes a difference in their daily lives. And if it doesn't make a difference in your daily life, I bet you know people who it does affect. So tell them that story. Tell them what they need to hear about how it is to get by on less than $9.50, and how we need to keep that going for years to come.